And welcome to a brand new episode of the YouTube show, the social media YouTube show. And today we're sitting here with Ayida.
Hello, hi.
How's everything going?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's busy because you work for quite a large company. So tell us a little bit like what do you do? What is your regular day job?
My regular day job officially is
Mhm.
called Brand and Communication Manager. So that means I manage the brands that Fernandes Bottling Company produces. Basically marketing, PR, public affairs, and corporate communications. So yes,
Okay.
busy.
And in Suriname, Fernandes
Yeah.
Bottling is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also bottle Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Are you still the only external company that's allowed to bottle Coca-Cola? Or
No. We were never the only
Okay.
company that was allowed. But we are the only company who has their own brand bottled by Coke in another country, in Holland.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's.
So does that make the social media guidelines a little bit more difficult as well, or?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Specifically when it comes to Coca-Cola brands, yes, because there are very strict guidelines. And but for Fernandes, no. Fernandes is our own brand, so we can make up our own guidelines
Okay.
as we do.
Yeah.
Of course, we try to mirror the guidelines that we get from Coke, because obviously Coca-Cola is one of the world's leading marketing companies when it
Yeah.
comes to marketing, at least. So obviously for us it's
You can't
more
go
a
wrong.
blessing. It's
Yeah.
a blessing that we can have those guidelines and we can apply them to our own brand. But it's definitely challenging sometimes because we have a very specific market. Suriname is a very specific country with very specific interests and a very particular way of doing things. So something that would work in Jamaica or in the US or in Holland will not always work in Suriname. So we can't always copy everything
Okay.
directly that we get from them. We
Okay.
have to adjust it.
But you also have work experience abroad and
Mhm.
studied abroad. So
Mhm.
like, what did you study? Because that's what people often want to know. Like, okay, I want to be in social media. So what do you study to come into social media?
Okay, well, I studied communication science. I went to university. I graduated in 2008. So that's a couple of years ago.
Yeah, just then.
Just a couple of years ago. The funny thing is when I started studying that because I wanted to work in media production, like behind the scenes.
Okay.
I wanted to become a movie maker or a documentary maker or something like that. So back then, I know this is gonna make me sound like a dinosaur, but there was no such thing as social media back then. I believe I think Facebook started in
We didn't
7
call it
or
that.
8.
No, we
Exactly, we
call it.
didn't,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
wasn't the thing that it is today. It
But was
existed.
it defined in your study? Like, I
No,
mean, communication
no.
science is
Exactly.
very closely connected
Yeah,
to
that's
social
what
media.
I was going to say. It didn't, no. It focused a lot on mass media, TV, radio, internet, definitely.
Yeah.
But the whole mechanic of social media, no, that was non-existent in my studies at the time. So I didn't really study anything related to social media back then.
It's very user centric. If you remember the timeline of Facebook a little bit,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at the beginning of the 2000s, I mean the like button. We know the like button as something that has existed, but when I started on
Wasn't that not
Facebook,
there
I don't
first?
think the like button was there already.
Oh,
So
I don't
like in
remember.
2006, the like button on Facebook didn't exist, but people can't even
remember
grasp
that.
that anymore.
Oh,
like-
okay. Well, I wasn't on there that early, but I started using Hives in Holland
Yeah.
as the first social platform. I remember my sister had MySpace and things similar to that
Yeah.
existed before that. But for me, it was Hives, and that slowly rolled into Facebook because of friends who said, "Why
Yeah.
aren't you on Facebook?" And I said, "What is Facebook? Why would I put my face on?"
So what's your earliest memory of like being on
Being on social
I'll
media,
give you-
that's Hives.
Hives?
Mhm,
Okay.
yeah, creating
No
a-
YouTube?
No.
Okay.
My YouTube profile didn't come into place like very recently.
Okay, no, but for me, like personally, I remember being on YouTube first, before on Facebook, because I was already, it was
You were making videos yourself, or just watching?
Just like trying to watch videos,
yeah.
being here in vacation. Like, of course, I studied in the Netherlands where the internet connection was a little bit better. So when you came to Suriname on vacation, then you would like click on a video, then go away for 10 minutes, and then you could watch 20 seconds. I mean, this is not dishing anybody, but the connection was terrible. Like, when people say like, oh, this connection is terrible now, I'm like, yeah, but do you remember 15 years ago when you couldn't watch a music video for like 4 minutes straight? You had to wait an hour for a music video to upload.
Yeah.
But Hives, okay, interesting. Do you remember?
Yeah, I kind of the similar. I think I started because of vacation, like wanting to post pictures for your friends.
Yeah,
I think that's how it started.
Yeah.
And
the good old days of
good
Facebook.
Old days, just sharing with your friends, nobody else, just people that you actually know. And
no advertisements.
No advertisements. You would just send each other texts on this wall type of page that you had. You know, what are you doing tonight? Are we going to go out, or are we going to dinner? I was in university back then, so it was very social, but it was very much among my friends.
But is that gone now? Is the social gone out of social media?
For me personally, yes. Yeah, I don't really keep my friends updated on my life through social media as much as I did back then.
Okay, but from a company perspective?
From a company perspective, that's not gone. No, that's still very much how it works. Yeah,
it's gotten easier.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you're one of the few people that I can actually ask about in Suriname about Twitter. Like, is there like the personal messaging? Does that work on Twitter, or do you say like it's a little bit too?
I think it depends. If you have a lot of contacts on Twitter, definitely I see that happening a lot. But I don't have a lot of personal contacts on Twitter to do that with. So.
Okay.
But definitely, yeah.
So in the radio show, you were talking about Instagram, like, and being like basically your favorite channel now.
Yes,
like. Okay, how has your perspective on Instagram changed now for the last year, because it's constantly also becoming more of a commercial channel?
True. Yeah, it's really slowly starting to become the mini version of Facebook. That's very clear. I have to say, I don't like that part particularly because I get annoyed by the ads, which is very strange because I'm making ads myself as a company as well. But from a consumer perspective, I wish ads would be, maybe it sounds maybe weird, but maybe even more targeted, you know, because I see a lot of ads that have nothing to do with me or the content that I like or interact with at all. So I'm like, get these annoying ads out of my face, off my feed.
Okay, but like, so you told it from your personal perspective.
Yeah.
But that's also kind of like
feedback
for the corporate as well. So
that's what I try to think about when I'm.
So the first thing I hear is like authenticity.
That's
like,
the main thing.
I mean, like if it feels like it is this kind of really pushy marketing ad, and you're like, I'm not wanting to watch this. But like, how do you come up with creative ideas to like make a commercial or something which is actually make a commercial or an ad feel less like an ad and
less
more
spammy.
Like one of your friends actually being able to share that?
I would say just don't create it as an ad. So just create it as another piece of content that you can advertise. And it's tricky because you really have to think about it. But I think I try to, at least in my work, to keep the ads in the same style and the same messaging as our regular posts, so to speak.
Okay.
Unless it's something very specific that you want people, with a very specific call to action that you want people people to know. And then also don't leave the ads running for too long, because it gets really annoying if you see the same ad over and over. And as a consumer, what I do, I actually give feedback. I actually use that "don't show me this" button. I'm not sure what it's called.
Top, like,
yes. That's my best friend on Facebook right now, because I'm just always letting them know that I don't want to see this anymore. This is annoying, or it doesn't suit me. Because otherwise
Do you feel like your timeline is getting less
on Facebook for
ads?
sure? On Facebook for sure. Not so much on Instagram, but on Facebook I can definitely see that there's not so much ads and not so much just annoying, sensational stuff coming my way anymore, because I started to report them basically.
Okay. And you see it on the other side as well, like.
Not as much as you would think.
Okay, so that's a good thing, I guess.
I was afraid of that, and I'm always on the lookout for even the negative feedback as well, because that gives me, some feedback to work with. And I don't see it as much. So,
that's a good thing.
Probably, hopefully that means that we're doing a great job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about Facebook and Instagram, a little bit even about Twitter. Like abroad, like there's a thin line for Snapchat at the moment. Like from a business perspective, people are saying like, they're not innovative enough. They can't keep up with Facebook. Facebook is gonna like cramp them down. But if you look at the statistics, like even not just Suriname, because we don't really have Suriname statistics, but like if you look at the statistics, Snapchat user base wise has taken over the teens. So they have taken over the teen demographic from Instagram, from Facebook. Fernandes is also active on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Like, what is your experience so far between the Snapchat and Instagram and even Facebook?
I have to say I was pretty skeptic when people started talking about should we go on Snapchat or not, because teens. And I've seen that actually in our statistics on both Instagram and Facebook, is that we're losing teens basically. That's a fact. So yes, I think teens I think Snapchat is definitely the way to go if you want to reach teens. What was your question again?
Yeah, so like what's the difference between like Snapchat and Instagram?
The difference is that Snapchat is like a universe in and of itself. I mean, I'm in my 30s. It's a different channel. Okay. It's something, I don't know. The mechanics, of course, are very similar to Instagram stories. Yeah. But
because Instagram copied it, but
and I mean kudos for Instagram because they did it well. But I'm in my 30s and I've tried numerous times to sort of get into Snapchat and I don't get it. Like personally. But when you talk to someone who's like 16, 17, 18 years old, they can tell you all about it and how it works, and they use all these terms that are so, and I'm like, okay, this is something, it's like, maybe it's like what Facebook was like when it first started, you know, it's a little sort of mini universe and you have to get really into it to understand it. And then once you're in there, then you can make it really fun.
Yeah.
I think Snapchat has more one-on-one interaction between users, whereas Instagram is much more broadcasting to a general audience. I think a lot of parents would probably be a little bit worried about what goes on Snapchat.
They just don't know.
For that reason, well, they don't know. They probably will never know, and that's probably one of the reasons why it's so successful. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, that's the last question, because we discussed a lot of things. If you look at from a corporate's perspective, like what would be the channel that you would are already investing in or consider investing more?
I think that would be YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had a YouTube channel for many years, but we don't actively use it so much. I think there's a lot more that we can do with YouTube. So, yeah.
Well, that plays into your interest to filmmaking and those kind of things. So,
yes, very much, yeah.
Yeah. We're getting a shake from behind the camera from Miguel as well.
Yes, very much.
Yeah. Okay, so YouTube would definitely be the channel that you're saying like,
Yeah,
okay, we
yeah.
want to invest more.
Yeah, although
Okay.
there's a funny thing because I see that, or I read everywhere
Yeah.
that, you know, in marketing blogs and stuff like that, they say video is king, everything is about video. But I think it's tricky to find that's the best way to do it, because when I post videos on our corporate channels, people don't seem to like them very much. So that's either those videos or no. I mean, they not that they don't like it, but they they almost never finish the videos, even if it's a 30-second video. So for me, the challenge is how do you make an engaging video for YouTube from a corporate perspective, not a vlog like you do, or
Okay.
but from a company perspective, how can we make engaging videos that aren't commercials? Because that would be easy,
Yeah.
you know. So
Okay.
that's my
Very,
challenge
very
that I'm
interesting.
trying to tackle in the coming months. I don't know. you know.
Okay. No, that's very, very interesting. I mean,
If you can help me out at all, help me out.
10, 20 ideas popping in my head right
great,
now. Yeah.
great.
I mean, that's one of the things, and I love that you say like, okay, it shouldn't feel like a commercial because it's different.
Yeah,
But even in that respect, viral commercials can also go viral
obviously.
on social
Yeah.
media. So, but that's a great way to close it off. You guys heard it. Video is becoming more important. Snapchat is far from that. You're just too old. Basically, those are the things. Hey, if you want to learn more about Fernandes Bottling, we'll put up the links in the description of Fernandes. And of course, there are some special links from our sponsors down below in the comment section, in the description as well. And we'll see you at the next social media YouTube show. Bye-bye.